What is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television. In the show this morning, we'll be speaking to Patrick Sandy, Director of Public Education and Outreach at the Anti-Corruption Commission, on the Commission's position on the ongoing investigation into the operations of the EAP Group of companies over the Motherland city. Mr. Sandy, to talk about, the ACC warning to the public against dealing with the EAP Group of companies or the Motherland City project. Mr. Sandy, so far, what has your investigations showed with this project? I could imagine there are people who've invested before even you started this investigation and came out with a statement.
Yes, you're very right. Quite a lot of people have invested, and the more reason why the Anti-Corruption Commission has called on members of the public to make representation at the ACC. But to just give an overview, I want to believe a good number of the public are now aware of the press release we did, warning them, as you have indicated, that they should suspend, stop forthwith, any engagements with the EAP Group of companies and the Motherland City. We are doing this exercise in conjunction with other security agencies or intelligence-based institutions, such as the CISA now, the Central Intelligence Security Agency, and the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. So basically, to state what we have in terms of preliminary investigations gathered, firstly, we have been able to establish the several names that the president or the head of the EAP Group of companies carry. We indicated, for instance, he's Alexander Moses when it comes to Ghana. He's Edward Alex Phillips when you talk about Sierra Leone, and in Sierra Leone he carries two names. I also have the other name of Alex Olubodi or Phillips, which at least even with the press release from EAP Group of companies, I realized that's what they used. And also in Nigeria, he's some Adeyemi or Olufemi, or Adeyemi something.
And you've been able to establish that he carries passports of all these countries?
Oh, certainly. Most especially the one for the Ghanaian, the Sierra Leonean, and that of Nigerian. But also, as I say, in Dubai, he's referred to as that of Aladura Moses. But then in terms of passports, we have been able to establish that, yes, indeed, the Ghanaian passport he carries, the Sierra Leonean passport is carried, and the Nigerian passport.
This investigation, what are you actually investigating? Is it that the business is fraudulent, or the individual himself is the person who is not, the individual that could involve in such a business that people are investing in? Because we've had someone here who said this person was just a chairman. They've asked him to resign. He resigned. They came out with a statement, and they are insisting that their business is legal and they registered it. It's running in Sierra Leone. Is it that the individual you're investigating, or you're investigating the business generally?
We are investigating the business generally and the individual. And what people should note, and even us here, in terms of this EAP Group of companies, is that firstly, of course, on the Motherland City, firstly, this body is, well, if you like, wanted by the EFCC and the individual itself. We indicated that in the press release because of the several activities that had happened, and in fact described as criminal activities. So the EFCC in Nigeria, they've conducted an investigations, and they believe that he should stand trial in Nigeria. So that in itself is aside. And then coming to the aspect of the Motherland City, as I have told you, the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit, of course, working with several banks, let's note that. And the CISA is also an intelligence institution, and even the ACC is an intelligence-led institution. We have been able to establish, through a lot of covert exercises or work, that this Motherland City itself is unrealistic and it is fictitious. That is what is key, firstly. So it is for that reason we are asking members of the public to suspend. But again, as an institution, ACC, we are leading in these investigations. We are looking at several other things, the individual and the institution. So this aspect of trying to dissociate the individual from the institution, to me, is a non-starter. Besides, the institution only made the press release of this man stepping down when the ACC had already commenced its investigation.
So have you been able to arrest other people? Because if you're saying the whole institution is fraudulent, the whole company, the other people who are involved in it is not the only person. Have you made arrest of other people?
No, we are looking at the greatest responsibility, sir. You do not need to arrest everybody when you are doing an investigation. But of course, arrest will have to happen. Currently, we have 2 in our custody. But you don't need to arrest everybody because you are investigating an institution. I just want the public to understand, as I'm here for that the relationship we're having today with the head of EAP extends to the EAP group of companies and that of the Motherland city. And we are looking into several things that relate to even deposits that have been made by people in the accounts that they hold. And so a lot of things are happening which I don't have to make public here. But let us all understand that the Anti-Corruption Commission, together with its partners, are looking at several other things in relation to the operations of the EAP group of companies, particularly in Sierra Leone, and that this individual, in relation to the group of companies, is also needed in Nigeria by a sister institution, which is the EFCC, the Economic Financial Crimes Commission. And so we are constantly in touch with them. So people have to understand this. So you can't dissociate the gentleman from the company. And it should have happened way before now, if it were the case. But until with such an intervention, that is the time now these things are being said. But let's wait and see. As I am saying, the investigation, we are progressing with it satisfactorily, and then we see the issues that will come out. But that is so far what we have, and we can tell members of the public, if you have your money, keep it safe. Don't put anything into what is so called the Motherland city, because we are not clear as to what has been obtaining and what will even happen in the near future.
But isn't there a risk that because you haven't, reprimanded, the majority of people who were involved in this, that like now that you've got the few in custody, that certain people will just go missing? Yeah.
Those who were involved in the business might run away. Those who've collected monies from people. The fact that you've not arrested other people who were involved in.
No. But the point is, we definitely would have to arrest those who matter to the investigation. That is why we are still maintaining the sanctity of the investigation. If anybody thinks he or she will run away, at the end of the day, once the investigations are concluded and we know you are a person of interest, we can even try in absentia if we have to go to court. So let people bear that in mind. But the fact remains, at this stage, we are only naming the individual who heads. Even the second person we've arrested we will not name. But if you believe or you think you are associated with this scam or this kind of thing, then you know what to do. But we are just expecting that you stay, and then, as I've said, once the investigation leads to you, we need you. Definitely we'll do all within our power to get you. We can put out wanted notice for people who have done that, and it's several other things.
Is there an amount of investment that you're looking at so far that people have invested in this business?
No, but basically we are not per se, but what is clear is that a colossal amount of money has been put into this Motherland city in Sierra Leone and outside of Sierra Leone. That is why in our press release we are very clear that those who were out of Sierra Leone, because a lot of marketing was done. Frankly speaking, these people have an office at the FCC. Even myself sitting here, let the members of the public know, they marketed this thing to me.
So there isn't a figure that you can just throw out there to say how much?
Oh, no. That's why we are calling on members of the public. No, we don't have any figure in mind. That is clear. Okay. Otherwise, we would have said that is the target, etc., etc. But anybody whosoever, because what you were doing basically by payments of those deposits, you made it on your own and they receipted you. You paid into the bank, whichever bank they had identified, and you had your slip. So we can't make a determination at this stage. And people are coming in. They come to the information desk, they get to the invest, as the case may be. But we need as many people as we can, so that we can do the analysis to be able to know how much people had paid into this, as well as in Sierra Leone and that of overseas countries.
This week of Sierra Leone on AYV television on channel 3. We still have Patrick Sandy from the Anti-Corruption Commission in our studios. Mr. Sandy, once more welcome to the show. I want to ask, did the ACC start this investigation after, the public the publications on social media by, the Dr. Idris Lai, who has been investigating, he's been publishing documents, names, even the passports you spoke about. He was the first to publish it. Did you start your investigation after what could be considered as his whistleblowing?
Not at all. Not at all. We had long started or commenced the investigations even before what you are also describing as what some members of the public consider as whistleblowing. We do not. But, I indicated it earlier that the Anti-Corruption Commission is an intelligence-led, and also the partners we are working with in terms of the FIU and the CISA. So people should understand that a lot has gone into this in terms of what we call, you do problem profile, you do the individual profile. So a lot has been happening. Surveillance had been done around and, about the activities of this man.
So come to realize that this whole process is fraudulent, allegedly? Because there's been videos showing the ACC commissioner attending the opening of the event, the launch of it. There are the other senior official as well of the ACC attending and making a statement at the event. When did the ACC realize that this is a fraudulent activity and you need to investigate?
It was afterwards. It was afterwards. Because when institutions invite the ACC, be they public and private, we attend.
You don't do background check. Yeah, go ahead.
Give us a date, like when this investigation started at all?
Oh no, well, no, I will not give you the date because it's an investigative process. I will not give you the date.
You could possibly
but I am saying
started a month ago. Or
over a month ago. That's what I'm saying. She's asking for a date. I can't give a precise date, but I want members of the public to know that it happened before these publications and it's over a month ago.
But you didn't come up with a statement.
We do not have to.
No, but this is money involved.
No, we do not have to. Because Lamrana,
if you're investigating an individual you are allegedly saying is fraudulent and people have invested money, one could imagine is that come out with the same statement you came out with, say, we're advising people not to transact business with this individual.
No.
Based on what based on what you've seen or what you know, based on your investigation.
Lamarana, what we are doing was a lot of intelligence work, and we commenced the investigations, as I've said, some time back. But we do not need to come to the public because we want to establish so many other things. It's an investigative process. Let us realize this. It is at the behest of the ACC. Now we feel very comfortable. I recall you had sent several messages to me, and I was very reserved and reluctant because even myself, we have to know this. At the ACC, I only make disclosures when I am informed. And disclosures are made on a need-to-know basis. So as a matter of fact, it is not about ACC just jumping the gun. It is not about ACC just coming to the public to say and later has to go back to retract. What we have done is we've done a lot of joint exercises and we commenced investigations, and I've said preliminary issues we have been able to gather points to these facts, and therefore we now feel very comfortable, very relaxed, so to speak, to come to the public and inform them. Otherwise, if we had done so much earlier than this, it could have probably been jeopardizing the process. So that is the reason. Let us understand it. That is the reason. And it's not all investigations you have to be running commentaries, or even before that, you let those who are concerned go off the hook. And mind you, the individual we are talking about has also committed in other countries and has escaped, so to speak. I don't know what happened. So if in Sierra Leone we are trying to do a lot of groundwork, a lot of surveillance work around that person, we should make sure that the information is pretty tight.
So how does the ACC reassure Sierra Leoneans out there going forward when, other investments are brought into the country for them to, have a stake in? How do we reassure them that what has happened here will not happen again? That's why we're saying, for example, like mention a month where the investigation started, so we can know that, we have a strong institution in this country that will protect the money of the people and the future of the nation.
No, well, firstly, we have to establish the institutions who has the role, of doing the due diligence we are talking about when investments come. Because even when you are referring to the individual that went to talk about, at the launch of the project or the program, spoke about impeding investment. So firstly, let us establish who are these individuals. We went there just to make a message that if somebody want to impede and to know whether these institutions coming or the investments they are coming with are legitimate, what role does SEC play at that initial stage? No role.
At SEC,
that is what we should understand.
When you are invited to occasions, do you do due diligence to do check? Say, I could imagine the ACC commissioner and a very senior person of the ACC going to an event, making a statement. I could imagine, do you do, due diligence, background check before going to know whether these projects are legitimate or they're credible so that you could go make a statement there?
No, not in all cases, Lambrana.
And not in this case
Not
as well.
in this, because honestly speaking, it's an invitation. You are just going to talk. Institutions that want to partner, for instance, with the ACC, as we do, we sign memorandum of understanding with them. We do due diligence, proper due diligence, and a lot more of other institutions. So not the one that will call you, like my very self, or the commission, yes, and the commissioner says, Sandy, go and represent the commission, to say, I will not go. I have to go.
No, I'm not saying not going. I'm asking if you do
we
like
do not.
background check.
No, we do not. We do not, because the institution is already operating in the country. We believe that a lot of other institutions who are supposed to have played their part have played in this. So we are just
so is it safe? This is leading me to a question. Is it safe to say the SEC knew nothing about EAP Group until public publications about alleged corruption of EAP Group, and then you went into investigation and wanting to know what they're doing? Because I could...
No, it's different. It's different the way you are putting it.
No, I'm asking. I'm not putting it. I'm asking. I'm asking.
Well, that is not the case.
You attended the commissioner, and someone else from the commission attended the event.
Certainly, yes.
And this has been ongoing until someone came out and publicly published a statement saying, no, these people are not what they're saying they are. They need to be investigated. Then afterwards, we saw a statement from the SEC.
No, that is where we are getting it wrong. There's a missing link. At the very start of the institution or the project or the launch, whatever, ACC was present, and I have explained the reason or reasons behind our presence, as we do in any other function. And it's not our responsibility to do due diligence. And right after that, even before this thing started public, I have said ACC and the other partners came to the realization that the operations of this institution is not anything to go by. And so we started doing joint surveillance work way before this public. That is the point. So we should not be putting these two together. Yes, there was representation. That is not in doubt. But in terms of the commencement of intelligence work, let's start with that, it had begun or had commenced ever since, before all of these. And then we also commenced investigation itself.
So do you
because we believed that something has led us somewhere for which we needed to do all of these in terms of looking to the activities of EAP and the Motherland City. So let us get it right. Up to such a time now, we started seeing all of these publications coming from whosoever, that these things are happening. SEC had long gone into it. And it has happened before in terms of our investigations we conduct. But people consider themselves as whistleblowers, when in fact, SEC, we are not the ones like the vuvuzelas. You go about talking because you have seen that. Because I keep saying the integrity
matter. You could, one could imagine that people have invested. If you've started an investigation, you could announce to the public that we are investigating this company. We want to advise the public. If you are investing or want to invest, please hold on to your money. I could imagine how many people have invested up to the time you're investigating before you came public. You could imagine.
No, but Lamrana, insofar I am concerned, and the institution and all of us, what we should be thanking God for is that ACC has made this known to the public. And even at the time we are trying to establish...
for that? This is your work you're doing, Mr. Sandy.
No, but basically...
Are you saying we should be thanking God or praising the ACC for doing their work?
No, we are doing our work, but we are also making sure that members of the public do not continue to invest or put monies into something that they will not see realization. So that is the point. So, as a matter of fact, even though this is our work we do, don't you have to pat us on our back for doing such a thing with the other partners?
You're getting paid to do that and represent the country.
I agree. It is not in doubt. But even for a job for which you are paid as a father, you are to feed your child. When you feed that child, the child should start to say thank you. It's a sign of appreciation.
So it's
a sign of appreciation.
Are you saying we should commend the ACC for even for an ACC that attended the launch of a project that you're saying is fraudulent. The individual carries 3 different passports. You did not do due diligence. You're saying we should pass. The public should be thanking God for that. Are you saying, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. What I am saying, let us understand it very clearly. They should thank the ACC for their investment, so to speak, which we are trying to protect. The monies that they thought they were putting into somewhere, at the end of the day, they will not realize anything out of. That is what I am saying. But on the point you are raising, about attending, I have tried to clear that aspect. ACC, they will invite us, and in functions we attend. It is not our responsibility to be doing due diligence on private institutions or businesses. I have said the institutions that ask for partnership with the ACC, for which we give them letters of partnership, and also we do memorandum of understanding or memoranda, we do that due diligence.
Mr. Sandy,
and a lot more. So it is not in this
Mr. Sandy,
case.
as I am.
So you've made a statement, you are done.
No, as I am,
You see?
as an individual. I get invitation to attend events. I want to know who are these people who are inviting me, what they're doing, what their background. I'll do some basic research about them. I could imagine the ACC, you're saying, being invited to an event of such nature, and you see there, to you, it seems like it's not an issue. We should just go and make a statement. It's okay.
You're still not. You are still,
but you're saying the ACC...
it is the aspect of the due diligence we are talking about the basic checks. At that time, I still tell you, if you read around this institution, the Motherland city, and all of what somebody have had, and they said they are coming to invest, and I still keep saying there are people responsible for that, and you are just to go there and make statement and to say we do not. You basically will do that, but you don't go deeper. And that aspect of going deeper is not at that stage. You have to do it, and not even after. But at the end of the day, when now people had started to be making deposits into this account, and ACC as an intelligence-led institution and with other partners, we said, no, wait a minute. You have to look. We have to look at this institution more properly. And that was the time intelligence work started on this EAP and all of that. And as I'm saying, with other inquiries, with other parties, like the EFCC, we're able to get the information. You cannot get it at that time you think you are being called upon. And this is not the first time, of course, it's happening necessarily, but everything that happens to the ACC, yes, we have a mandate, but there are institutions too who have the responsibility to do what they are supposed to do or to do what they are established to do.
Do you think there were signs in the beginning that this investment was not good? Was there anything that you saw at this launch that made you feel uncomfortable, or did it just look good from the onset, so you can see why people gave into the idea of this city?
What I'm saying is this. At the time of the launch, we had the commissioner, we had the director of operations. We did not take realization. But scarcely after that, that is the point I am making.
And you can't tell us after when? That's still something you
No,
can't
scarcely.
say.
About 2-3 months down the line after the launch, we started to do intelligence work on this institution.
When was the launch?
The launch happened sometime last year. Yes. So right after
It
that.
happened around December, I think so. It's December or November, December.
No, it was about, yes, November
So
or
in
so.
January you started.
So yes, a lot of work had started.
So just to clear, the investigation started in January of this year.
No, I will not disclose to you.
You said
What
3
I am
months,
saying,
2 months.
what I am saying, let us be clear here. I can't give you anything specific. This is an investigative process. I said scarcely after the launch. Let us understand. This is about timings, and let us understand what we are saying. To pin me to a month or to this is not place. It's not in place here for me to say.
We just want to revive the faith of the people.
I understand where you are coming from. You should also understand where I'm coming from. I am coming from an intelligence-led institution. And as we speak, the matter is still under investigation, actively. And we are dealing with an individual who has done or caused issues in other countries. So, and we are on air. And this interview has to go far and wide. So one has to be very careful in what you say. And it's an investigative process. That's why I'm saying, let us be mindful about time here. At the time of the very day the launch was done, ACC hadn't any idea. Otherwise, as we are saying, or any sane person will know, will not participate. And right from there, we would have commenced whatever activity or even go into action. But we never knew. So, but scarcely after that launch, ACC realized. And so we mounted intelligence on this individual and the EAP group of companies, not only in Sierra Leone, but also with other sister institutions. And from that get-go, we have realized that something is wrong with this project. So that is where we are coming from. And then after the intelligence work, we needed to establish a lot of other things. Having established that, we are now out to the public, so that members of the public who have deposited their monies at the banks in respect of this affordable housing should stop or suspend whilst investigation progress. And so outcomes of such will be communicated. I think that this is the kind of stage that we should be talking about.
Okay,
and also, it had happened way before these publications in social media. We are very comfortable at the ACC. Other institutions are very comfortable with what is happening. So I don't see issues actually in regard this whole matter.
Okay,
ACC participation, when ACC knew about it, whose responsibility it is to do due diligence, why did ACC go there, and after that? No, that is why I'm responding. Because insofar we are concerned, we are very comfortable. Comfortable in the sense, at this stage where we are with the investigation and this person in question, with all of these names, we are able to clamp down this person. And even as we speak, the EFCC Nigeria want him, and maybe so many other places we do not know at this stage, and we are able to put this out to the public.
Okay, going forward, what would the ACC do differently if a scheme came up like this again? Is there anything you think that you guys should have done
firstly, what we do, let's understand, once the issue falls within our mandate, we do not do things randomly, if you like, because a lot of people would also have to question. Whilst people are out there, they want to see the ACC doing everything, but we also will make sure that something falls within our mandate before we go into it. If somebody comes to the investment, it's not our responsibility to do the due diligence if it is not, but once you are involved in acts of corruption or suspected acts of corruption, we'll definitely go.
So can you tell us who would be responsible if a scheme was to come up like this again before you guys intervene? What organisation, what institution would have to be in that place? You
have investment boards. You have other institutions, players. We all know about these things.
Mr. Sandy, do you
know there are other agencies to look at private institutions, because we should understand firstly that this is a private institution. Okay. There's EAP Group of companies and all of these. So ACC, though, yes, we look at these areas, but it firstly would have to fall under our mandate.
Okay.
And as this one we are talking about correctly.
There is a report of some banks are involved in this as well, and some banks, a certain bank manager has invested some amounts. Are you also investigating the banks, or it's just the company and the individuals? Are the banks that are mentioned in this, you're investigating them as well?
No, but firstly, you see, Labrana, not all of these things we see on social media we should pay heed to. For instance, I also saw this thing about somebody going to ACC. I am not aware. But the point is, firstly, let us understand, anything that has dealings with the EAP Group of companies and the Motherland City, the ACC is investigating.
Including banks?
No, the banks that people had made deposits. Let us make it clear. Asking. Certainly, no, I thought it's a this thing about, I saw it myself and you saw it, that's the MD of this. I am not aware. And people make these kinds of outlandish claims.
The banks where the deposits are made,
certainly they have interest to the ACC.
Do you have officials who've invested at the ACC who've invested in this project?
I am not aware. I told the public here that I was approached by a member of this group to invest. A marketer came to me and I was not sure. So I did not, sir. I am not also aware of members of the ACC, but I tell you for free, members of the public, we are very vulnerable, they were unsuspecting, and a lot of them have made investment, and as such, we are waiting for them to see what kinds of investment they have made, the amounts of money they've paid into it, and then see the ways forward.
Quickly, before we take few messages, I want to ask you this. Could the ACC be considered as an accomplice to this, considering the fact that the commissioner attended, the director of operations, these are very senior people at the commission. Maybe I could imagine if I see them, I'm a citizen, I see them attending the launch of this event, that gives me assurance to invest in it. That if you can see individuals like that attending the launch of a Motherland City project, that should give me the confidence and assurance as a citizen to invest in it. Were you used? Was the ACC used to legitimize this? Or
no, not at all. Not at all. You see, we have to make it very clear here. The ACC was never. The ACC will never be even used, or if you like, any other word you want to put it. You see, I have indicated also why we were at that program. And if anybody, for any reason, would have seen the ACC and for that reason you want to invest, I would describe it as having been unfortunate. Because once the ACC We are there. What we spoke about was very clear in terms of impeding investment, if anybody. But if after that, ACC has come back to the public to make its position known together with the other partners, and that is the more reason why I'm saying we are now waiting on members of the public, whosoever that have made investment. Otherwise, we would have still kept quiet. Because I say, accomplices, we say no. But we realized afterwards. And that's the more reason why we are so vehement with this issue, to making sure that we get to the logical end. So members of the public should still continue to have faith and assurance in the ACC, in the work we do, and the confidence they have held ever before.
So is the ACC going to apologize to the public
for
attending the launch of a... Come on, Mr. Sir, this is very serious.
No, but I don't take it seriously.
But I could imagine, I've given you a scenario. Look, imagine I'm a citizen who sits at my home and I see the commissioner of the ACC and the director of operations at the ACC making a statement at an event, and I have my money and I invested in this project, and the ACC is coming out with a statement that it's fraud, I should not do business with them, and I've invested my money, perhaps out of the confidence of seeing credible people legitimizing the business. Don't you think the ACC should apologize for attending such an event that has come out as a fraudulent project?
No, I don't think so. I am very emphatic.
Okay.
I don't think so. We owe anybody any apology. The fact of the matter is...
Do you think it was right for the ACC to attend that event? Do you think it was right?
No, at that time it was because we never knew of the activities of this man.
So considering the fact that this is fraud, don't you think the ACC should perhaps say sorry to the public for legitimizing the fraudulent...
Did we know about it? No. And we have known about it now. Which action?
And you can't say sorry because you've known about it. You can say sorry to the public.
No.
But the public should thank the ACC for investigating.
No, for us making sure that their investments, which they thought would have yielded any fruit, will no longer. And as we go into the investigations, there's every reason for them to realize that ACC has done good for us. That's what the point I'm making, Laurana. Whether you like it or not, there are people who were determined, who had set their standards as to how much they were going to put into this so-called affordable housing project. And at this stage, for instance, somebody wanted to put $30,000 and had only put in their $6,000, with a view of investigations, whatever the outcome and whatever happens at the end of the day, if your money is going to be refunded or recovered, it's paid back to you. Don't you need to thank your personal chief for that? So it is a matter of what you consider
just to make it
as
clear,
the ACC's intervention. Because once you get the ACC intervention be mixed up with our presence at the event and that of what action we are doing now, then it's got the whole thing muddled.
So just to make it clear on like the thanks, are you thanking the whistleblower, Dr. Lahai, and others on social media for blowing this up and bringing it to our attention? And are you not thanking the institutions that should have done their job in the beginning, that now ACC have had to get involved and investigate? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Thanks to the whistleblowers, Dr. Lahai and his ilk, and then no thanks to the institutions in the country who didn't do their job for this to be investigated thoroughly for us to be where we are today?
No, basically, I have made it very clear. In terms of whosoever that you consider, that is not the person.
What was out there?
You know, the public. But because you are taking the side of the public.
Oh, no, we're just here to bring
you are
questions
the devil's
to you
advocate in this case. So that's what I'm saying. Some members of the public do believe that they came to know about this thing from Dr. Lahai.
Yeah.
The ACC did not come to know about it from Dr. Lahai.
So between the ACC and Dr. Lahai, who should get the praise? Dr. Lahai, who came publicly, even when you were investigating.
We are not in debate.
No, I'm not saying.
But
the point I'm making is, you're making a point that the public should be thankful to the ACC.
For protecting.
But
at this stage, where I am saying, let us be clear here. We, the ACC, have now come out to state categorically that you should desist or suspend the payment of deposits you were making.
And you knew about this long ago.
That's what but we needed to establish, firstly, that indeed this issue is not of any good. That's the point I'm making, Lamrana. When you start an investigation, others will say a prima facie case. Others will say, no, you have to establish the basis. Otherwise, I would have still been sitting here and you'll be asking me the same question or saying the same to apologize because you have gone after somebody and later on you prove that what you are looking into is not actually what you found out. So that is the more reason why we did the joint exercises, and also we did our investigation at a point, and we decided to come public. But the aspect of those who really did not do what they were supposed to, as you are saying, we are saying they need to do more.
Okay.
And in terms of other people coming, because Sierra Leone, this is not the first time, we have to note this.
So you agree the institutions need to do more?
They need to do more.
Okay.
In terms of checking. At the institution, we do probity check. You do integrity checks. You want to know this individual, where is he or the company coming from? Who are the personalities involved? You have the issue of my coin. You have the issue of well builders. These things had happened inside. So people should take responsibility. But when it comes to the ACC, as if it is the ACC that should be seen doing everything. And it is not.
This individual, as you mentioned, is wanted by the FCC in Nigeria. Is the ACC going to hand him over, or you will continue with your investigation?
We are continuing with our investigations. And what we should all realize is this individual has been arrested in Sierra Leone. He is in our custody. And we have also our laws. And so we are looking into his activities in Sierra Leone. And once we are satisfied with that, and we see reason to let him go, then he will. But otherwise, if we believe that we should do a lot more in regard his own activities, then I'm sure we are doing. So currently we are doing our investigations, and we'll make sure we do that until we are satisfied before we will let him to the people of Nigeria, who also want him, by the way.
You have a question?
Would you ever consider working with these whistleblowers in the future?
Whether...
Will you ever see yourself, the ACC, working with these whistleblowers in the future? Because they've done quite good work to raise this issue to the attention of the public. And
it is this specific maybe person, but generally at the ACC we have stated here categorically.
So you
always,
never...
No, whistleblowers are people we work with.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. We've even done what we call a reward scheme for whistleblowers.
Okay.
When people give us info, no, they do not do this, because this individual does not provide to the ACC any information that is useful. And when you talk about a whistleblower, you provide a cogent information. That is one, and you work with the institution so that you sail through whatever you have provided by way of institution to see what what comes out. And we have also said in our reward scheme, at the end of the day, whatever recovery we made, you have a percentage of whatever we recover. 10% comes to this. Out of that 10%, we give you another 10%.
Okay.
So we should understand the context of a whistleblower. But ACC is very happy to work with whistleblowers because we believe they are quite critical to the work that we do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Put out invectives.
Patrick Sandy, for joining us this morning in the show. We'll follow up on the outcome of that investigation and perhaps the statement that you'll be issuing to the public. But thanks for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.